forget the excitement that rushed through every muscle of my body as I finally hit a beautiful drive that soared right down the middle of the fairway on my last hole at the girls' golf state finals as a senior. I've never felt more joy than walking down that fairway for the last time. As I left that final hole, I had tears in my eyes and joy in my heart, for I had truly soaked in every moment of that day. Today, I'm going to talk about not taking any moment of life for granted, something that we can all relate a lot to right now. You see, we live in a society where we're go, go, go. We want to jump to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. But we all just need to slow down and stop, and look around us and enjoy every moment of life. Because if not, you're going to miss those moments in years to come. You see, when we're 5, we can't wait to be 10 years old. And when we're 10, we can't wait to be 13, finally a teenager. And when we're 13, we can't wait to be 16 and finally get our driver's license. And when we're 16, we can't wait to be 18 and finally be an adult and move out of the house. But if we keep rushing through life, we'll miss what's happening right now. My first point is, what is your legacy? Unfortunately, in December, my family lost a very close friend of ours to a car accident. You see, it made us realize that you really are never guaranteed tomorrow. But it also made us realize what kind of legacy he left, what kind of guy he was. He had a smile on his face 24/7. He made everyone around him feel so much joy. That's the kind of person I want to be. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. You see, 1 Peter 4:7-8 says, everything in this world is about to be wrapped up. So take nothing for granted. Stay wide awake in prayer. And most of all, love each other, as if your life depended on it, because love makes up for practically anything. You see, when you die, on your gravestone, there is going to be the year you were born and the year you die. And in between that is a tiny little dash mark that hardly anyone pays attention to. But that dash mark is actually really important. That dash mark represents your life, your years here on earth. What are you going to do with your dash mark? What are you going to be known for? What is your legacy going to be? What are people going to say about you at your funeral? You see, we truly don't know when we are going to breathe our last breath. So how are you going to be living when you breathe your last breath? Are you going to be living in faith or in fear? Which leads me to my second point. We have to live our life in God's faith and not the devil's fear. Last year at Fine Arts, I did a spoken word. And a spoken word is a 3-minute memorized poem. And in the week leading up to Fine Arts, I kept forgetting it. So 5 minutes before I was supposed to go on stage at Fine Arts, I was practicing my spoken word out in the hallway. And I kept forgetting it. So the devil used that one mistake I made to overwhelm me with fear and anxiety. I started bawling my eyes out, freaking out, saying, I'm gonna forget it, I'm gonna forget it. And the devil just kept lying to me over and over again. And when I got into that room, right before I was going to go on, I said, you know what, stop. I said, devil, flee from me. I said, I'm not going to believe these lies you're telling me, because God spoke this word to me for these people for a reason. So I went out there and I didn't forget a single word. Not because of me, but because of God. Because when we trust God and have faith in Him and don't listen to the devil, He's got our back. He's not going to abandon us. You see, Matthew 6:34 says, therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. A devotional I once read said, if you are waiting to feel unafraid before moving forward, you most likely never will. Being brave and living bold does not mean you aren't afraid. No, it means you kick fear out the door and you walk with courage onto this big and wonderful world. You see, the idea that we could die at any given moment, or that anything can happen to us, is a really scary thought. But we can't live in that fear. You see, we should be more fearful if we just sit and do nothing. More fearful of what won't happen if we don't touch people's lives for God, and if we don't live boldly for Him. More fearful of the people who won't be touched by His love. So let me leave you with one last thing. If you were to die in your sleep tonight, how are you living? Are you living for God, or are you living of the world? Are you living in faith, or are you living in fear? Because when you die, you're going to have to stand before God all by yourself and attest for your years here on earth. Is he going to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant"? Or is he even going to know your name? So make your dash count.